Hey guys, I'm Janet on occasion, and today we're playing Chaos Gate Daemonhunters Execution Force, because this DLC just came out 3 years ago, and now I want to play it. So, here we are. Alright, I'm being obviously silly. What we're going to do, we're going to play Ruthless. We're going to turn the tutorial off. Grandmaster mode, it's the, single save option, hardcore mode. I'm leaving it off because sometimes recordings can go wrong and I need to load a previous save to not lose a bunch of content because of a dodgy recording or something. But, we're playing on honor mode, right? I'm gonna sit in my mistakes, that's fine. But yeah, I'm keeping it off for the sake of actually being able to recover from issues, because my PC has been having some issues lately, which is a little worrying. If you want to help me afford a new one, there's ways to support the channel in the description below. Thank you, love you guys. But also, we're here to celebrate. We are actually here to celebrate because really recently, 7 months ago, I got to 40,000 subscribers, and I wanted to play this game to celebrate because this game was actually a huge part of why I've reached 40,000 subscribers, and also why I am here today. I wouldn't be here if not for that series, that original series I played. It's the most successful series I'd ever played. The first Daemonhunters campaign was hugely successful. I wouldn't be on 40,000 subscribers, but also I literally wouldn't be here. The money I earned that month came at just the right time to put towards the deposit for the flat that we're in. If it wasn't for that, windfall, I wouldn't be in this flat. So, literally, I wouldn't be here. Which, sure, I'd probably be in a different flat by now, but whatever, who cares? It's fun to say. So, I can pretend that this game is a bigger deal to my life than it probably is. Because, it's still just a video game, and it's still just a job. But it's a job I really like, and I really appreciate you being along for that ride. And here I am, entertaining you with a bit of nostalgia. A lot of you guys would have joined the channel as a result of that first campaign, and I think it's been long enough that we can come back to it fresh and enjoy the new content, So I think this is really exciting. I'm really looking forward to it, and I hope you guys are too. So let's jump in.
In the name of the God Emperor.
Dominus, who is this interloper?
Code scrapings indicate an inquisitorial transmission.
Baleful edict. Prepare for my arrival.
Duty calls, Commander. We should open a Vox link.
Inquisitorial vessel. Permission granted to come aboard.
God Emperor, I found you. I must commandeer this vessel at once.
Impossible. We are bound for Titan. The edict cries out for repair.
The tech priest speaks the truth, Inquisitor. Our last crusade bled us dry.
I'm not blind, Knight. But heresy does not operate at our convenience. My destination is Koromar Prime, within this very system. Not such a taxing journey, I'd expect.
And what is it that you hope to find there?
This.
Beneath rotting skies, the air thickens with a world's final breath. Seeds planted in flesh and bone, watered with blood and tears. A warrior alone in the garden of a grinning god.
These are scraps of astropathic whimsy.
There's more.
It grows. It spreads. A great dispersal upon the etheric wind. The bloom proliferating. First, then Koromar, then world after world. Its roots spread from an ancient veil. Inquisitor, hear me! Hear me! Hear me! Who tends the garden?
The astropath sacrificed himself to send that message.
Now you understand why we must investigate.
Commander, we cannot risk further damage to this vessel.
It is the chapter ship, Dominus. The Inquisitor has every right to request our support.
It is not a request.
Commander, with your leave, we will set our course for this Koromar Prime.
Yes. Good. That will do for now.
God, I love seeing them like translate into real space. It's very cool. Very cool indeed. Oh, I've missed this game. So yeah, an ill omen. Our new arrival, Inquisitor Vakir, has demanded we investigate the planet for evidence of the grim events foretold by that astropathic vision. Be vigilant. We're gonna get 15 servitors. We're gonna kill all enemies. Ooh, just fun to be had. Yeah, jump right in.
Report. Signals from quarantine beacons detected in the upper atmosphere, but the surface itself is silent.
Plague, Commander. Send your squad to the surface.
Knights of Titan, you are the instrument of the Emperor's will. Make planetfall and discover if the Inquisitor's fears are founded.
I really love the cutscenes. So, it's the old team, alright? The old team is back together. A lot of you guys will recognize these guys, because for some reason, this game doesn't pick names from a random pool at the start of each campaign. It has the same named characters every single campaign, even though they are all just, like, empty vessels. You know, they're not characters, but they have the same names, which I always found weird. Like, you'd think just random names each time, new people to get to know, but I don't know. There's an interesting nostalgia about it, I think. So we're going to give Hammerhand and Terminator Armor to Iolanthus, I think. On his second turn, we're going to go towards Honor the Chapter. All this stuff sort of means nothing currently, because we haven't even played anything yet, and so a lot of you will not even know how the game plays. So we'll get to it, basically, alright? I'm going to speed through that. But it does mean we want to put him in Terminator Armor, of course, so boom. So you can give the normal one, and there's also a bunch of other items in the game. They're all, like, low level, they're all a bit crap, but, you know, slightly better than the normal stuff. This will make us immune to Plague, for instance, so, you know, that's something extra. And, yeah, that's nice. There's also upgrades, which we won't get for years. I'm not sure why it even shows you this. I guess it's nice to plan ahead, but I feel like there should be a fold out for this. I don't know why I'm nitpicking things like this, but yeah, I am. Sue me. So there we go. We've got Terminator Armor on Ulrich Iolanthus, and we are going to give him a Demon Hammer, because they're funny. So there is one that's quite high level, but also kind of crap for the level that it is, though huge, like, ability to upgrade it to be better. But this one's fun. This one is fun. You can upgrade it with knockback, can't you? Yeah, you can upgrade it with knockback, which gets really funny later on. You can just bop people into chasms and things. It's hilarious. But yeah, extra crit chance, extra crit damage. Force Strike adds additional stun rather than more damage, which is a bit weird, but, you know, we'll give it a go. So yeah, a lot of these items are added as, like, originally it was if you were watching their Twitch streams pre-release, you could then, like, get you know, you'd get points the longer you watched, and you could cash them in for like bonus weapons and things. They just give you all of that now. They don't withhold any of that stuff, but most of it's kind of crap anyway, so you don't need to worry too much about it. But, you know, it is what it is. So let's go back to the teleportarium. There are other weapons we can equip on other people, but I'm not going to bother, because again, they're just tiny bonuses, which we don't really need to worry about on the first mission.
Commander, have your men look for signs of this plague.
Be vigilant, brothers.
So, you can rotate the camera, Q and E, move with WASD. You'll see down at the bottom, everyone has 3 AP each. That can be a, you know, movement is AP, right? So you can see the little number on my cursor. That's how much AP they'll have remaining if I move to here, or to here, or to here. So, you know, it gives you really nice feedback immediately where you're looking on the cursor. I love that. But also, it means you can shoot 3 times. If you overwatch, it'll use whatever your remaining AP is as a shot, right? So if you have 3 AP, like I do now, and I overwatch, if enemies run into that, I'm able to shoot them 3 times. Provided I have ammunition as well. I have 3 ammo there, as you can see in the bottom left. Although this is something that has always bothered me. I don't know why it has ever bothered to tell you how much ammo your melee weapons have. It should always just give you the ammo for your gun down in that readout, no matter what you're doing. It always tries to do the selected weapon, which I think is stupid. Could just show both. Like, who cares? But yeah, if you click on an enemy, you can basically move and attack using the same AP. So as long as you can move that much within an AP to, like, you know, and there's another guy like next to you, you can then attack as a part of that movement action. So you're really encouraged to be sort of aggressive on the attack, running from enemy to enemy, you know, blatting them with a hammer. So that's largely how the game works. Also, we unlocked Hammer Hand with that skill point we just spent. This automatically grants a critical hit. Alright, well, it's plus 100% chance to crit, basically. We also have grenades, which have a nice AoE, lovely, and Aegis Shield gives us additional armor. So you can see we've got 2 pips of armor, because he's in Terminator armor. This replenishes after every turn, so you get shot a bit, and depending on how much armor you have, it'll negate that much, and then you'll start taking damage normally. It doesn't negate from every attack, it just negates from the total damage you take in that turn. It can be shredded with other abilities, but yeah, it's temporary hit points, you could argue. It's temporary hit points, some of which will replenish every turn, some of which you get through abilities that will only last that turn.
Your orders.
And I think that is basically everything about how this game works. I am going to leave 1 AP left. So yeah, obviously you can see enemies are over there. If you're in heavy cover, by the way, anything shooting at you from there, it will be negated in its entirety. And low cover, I think, removes 2 damage from the attack, I think, from like every attack. Into low cover, I think it's 2. Right, so yeah, a lot of it is sort of positioning and things. Also, yeah, we have 12 hit points and willpower. Everyone has willpower. Willpower is spent on psychic abilities, so such as Hammer Hand is one of his, you know, abilities as a psyker. And yeah, we're playing as Grey Knights, which are, you know, Space Marines, who are all psychers. So all of their abilities, you know, require willpower. Whenever we spend any, it'll put up this warp surge meter, and when this gets to 100%, depending on what our enemies are, random stuff can happen. Like, you know, more reinforcements can show up, or I don't know. I mean, anything, frankly. Not completely anything, but like a lot of things.
Knights!
You know, you will lose willpower. The enemy gain additional mutations, like all sorts of things. And you can see from the green and brown that we're fighting Nurgle things. That's everything. That's the game. Because I skipped the tutorial, which was the one mission where you don't fight. Yeah, we could do that. Tell you what. Let's move forward a little further. Or do I? Do I need to? Yeah, I do actually.
Yes.
Alright, I'm gonna go forward a little further, right? I'm gonna go ranged attack. I'm gonna decide to attack him. You see, it's not that much damage, but we have Psychic Onslaught. Every attack we have will have like a spend some willpower to do a Psyker version of it, and it'll depend on the weapon that you're using. And the class will determine what weapons you can have equipped. Okay, so we currently have a God, what's this one called? A Psy Cannon. That's right, we're equipped with a Psy Cannon on our Purgator, Darek Thul, and that means we can use Psychic Onslaught. So this will do an AoE damage, but also these things explode, and that AoE damage will also make that explode, which should hopefully kill them both.
Yes, Commander.
So Psychic Onslaught uses a couple of willpower, but it also uses all of the ammunition in your magazine. Right, so whatever ammo your weapon has, you know, you can get additional ammunition. You can equip items that give you additional ammo in your clip, or whatever else. But yeah, Psychic Onslaught always uses all of it. Right, you have to be full. Which, yeah, it's just a thing. It's just a thing. What do? I guess I need to shoot him. I wonder how I want to deal with these guys now, actually. I don't want to teleport, because teleporting is funny. If I go there, I can run over and stab him, I imagine. I think I'll be close enough to stab him with 1 AP. If not, then I'll be very sad. So, you can also, like, draw a path, which is really nice. I like that. But it means you can also draw a path of where you want to attack from. I'm not going to use Force Strike, we're just going to do a normal attack. So there are attacks of opportunity. If he tries to run away from us, he will get stabbed again. So we've got to remember that too. I can basically kill him. I think we can get other people close enough to attack him now. Can we get a melee with him? We can't. Well, darn. We do have a grenade though, so I guess we'll just use a grenade. So let's get our apothecary over here, so he can heal. Right, that uses some willpower as well. Uses it's his Narthesium, which is his weird, like, hand covered in sores and needles and... Oh, we can kill them both. Sure, let's do that. Destroy. And other sort of, you know, medicinal gadgets. Perfect. And one thing I absolutely adore in this game, which so many tactics games do not do, is whenever you're out of combat, all of your ammo gets replenished, right? Everyone reloads automatically, everyone gets their AP back, and also when you are going to, when you encounter an enemy pod, you get all your AP back as well, if you bump into them. So, yeah, you want to sort of be careful moving your guys together, because you don't want one person to run out, engage the pod, you get all your AP back, but one person hasn't used, you know, the AP for that turn in order to get closer. Like, you still want to move them all up together. But, it's really jolly useful, frankly. We could probably uncover them now.
Your orders, standing ready.
Yeah, I think I will. Here we go. But yeah, just getting that, you know, that AP back, it means you don't end up uncovering the enemy with, like, the last movement of your turn, and then end up with them getting a bunch of attacks on you.
Poxwalkers are evidence of warp corruption. This is no natural plague.
And yeah, it's literally saying that. Like, you get all your stuff back. Just great. Now let's see. Let's move there and throw a grenade.
Unleash me.
I want to see how far he can get that Overwatch. You know, he can get it to here. That's fine.
They shall not pass.
So yeah, I'm going to move here. Or should I move to there? I can still grenade from there. Yeah, I should still be able to reach them with a grenade from there. Let's find out. So I'm going to do this. And, oh. One of them is in cover from that grenade. Oh, you know what? Screw it. I'll just throw it here. So grenades do send enemies flying, which is really fun. So you can play pool with people. But that's a good start. Alright, let's get you down to here. That'll give you a couple of AP to spend which we can use on an Overwatch. So these enemies, they're all obviously, you know, melee units. So they are just going to run directly at us. You don't need to worry about being in your own way as well, by the way. There's no sort of line of sight nonsense to deal with. But if they're all going to run at us, we can get a bunch of hits in. We'll kill whatever is closest, because everything moves simultaneously, which is really handy.
Contamination spreading to my servitors.
And yet the turn's over, so Bloom has risen. This will happen every turn.
Follow proper protocols.
And then, yeah, you can just finish people off by stabbing them. Which is great. Really nice.
Satisfactory effort. Now return with my carcass so I can set to work.
We will deliver them to you as soon as containment is properly confirmed and sanctified.
Be swift about it. If this plague has already spread beyond this planet, then we will have far more ground to cover.
Oh, and also one thing I didn't mention is there's no chance to hit. You always hit an enemy. Because, you know, you're Space Marines and you're capable, and I kind of love that. There are critical hit chances, which are going to do bonus damage and things. That will, you know, add some random elements, and I think plenty of random elements. But if there's something that has like a couple of health left, you can guarantee you can kill it if it's not in like full cover or whatever. You know, if the game says you'll do 2 damage from the position you're in, then you'll do 2 damage, you know? So I love that. I think that's really great. I think more tactics games need to do that. They need to sort of guarantee a certain degree of competence from your guys, so you can actually plan your moves well. And I really enjoy that. It makes it more like chess, you know? A lot of people say there's no strategy in games if there's not that random element. And then you look at chess, and it's like, well, chess has no random elements whatsoever. And it's considered quite a good strategy game. So, you know. So I like that. This is like battle chess. It's good. So yeah, I'm a big fan of this game. So we've got a bunch of servitors. They'll be useful. They upgrade our ship. Or, well, repair our ship and upgrade our ship. Our ship is currently knackered. The bit that we didn't see is we were just on a big campaign, and the tutorial ends. Like, this the last engagement of that campaign is the tutorial, and the previous guy, Commander Agravane, dies, and now we've taken over. So that's all of the plot. Right, now caught up with. And then, of course, we bump into Vakir, who says, there's a plague over here. Here's an astropath thing. Let's go. Cool. You're all caught up. So, got some experience. Not enough, sadly. Sad times. So you'll see there's this little skull with the, you know, the crack through it. That's our resilience. That's how many times our guys can fall in combat before they die permanently. So they do have some ability to get back up and fight. Even in combat. So if they're reduced to 0 hit points, right, then they just sort of fall on the ground, and you can heal them back up, or they'll just get themselves back up after a certain number of turns. But if they're attacked while they're down, then they'll die. I don't know if they just lose resilience or if that just kills them outright. I think it might just. I think it uses a resilience, but they're, you know, dead for the remainder of that tactical battle. But yeah, they can only fall so many times basically. So it's dangerous. Though I'm not sure I've ever really had anyone fall in this game, because I tend to be quite careful with my boys. So let's see. What are we doing next? Are we advancing time? Are we doing some research? We're doing some research. We're already working on that, apparently. I feel like it just skipped ahead, but I guess it just wants to. I mean, it's the only option to research, so I guess it just puts you in there. I thought that it would tutorialize some other things, but no, we're still waiting for a plasma reactor to repair, aren't we? But yeah, I think it does do more like tutorialization at this point of the game if you do play with the tutorial.
The Dominus has restored the star map to its full function. We are receiving a barrage of scanning data and astropathic scrapings from across the sector. This plague appears to have already spread its tendrils far and wide. We are faced with reports of 2 infected systems. We should monitor this infestation carefully and judge where best to direct our forces while the Inquisitor pursues her answers. Failure will cost many souls.
I like that he said that the plague has spread far and wide. It's in 2 places. I assume it's the far and wide systems. I assume as much. So, Commander, I've completed repairs to the plasma reactor. Our reconstruction efforts can proceed once again. Thank you, Lunette. So, ship status. So we have our 17 servitors right now. If we do the augmentation chamber, this will give us additional servitor production. If we do the reactor, we can start upgrading the warp drive and other things. Barracks, I don't really care about doing, honestly. We'll do it eventually, you know, if we have some time, but meh. And we have the Augarium, which is going to be really useful to get, actually. I'd never do this, but I might do this first for once, because it only takes 9 days. So basically, this will give us access to prognosticars, which are sort of like satellites in the rebooted XCOM 1. I was going to say the original XCOM, but it's not the original, but, you know, it's not XCOM 2 is what I was trying to say. But anyway, so XCOM, it's like satellites. It sort of gives you bonuses of stuff, you know, below there. Let's, you know, missions last longer, things like that. Be really helpful. So I might go ahead and do that. Which, yeah, we'll see. We'll see if that is wise. But yeah, this is useful as well. This gives us servitor production, so this will slowly tick up every few days. We'll get more servitors. So the quicker you do that, the better, really. But also, if there's something just more important, then it's more important, right? And yeah, the reactor is going to be useful because our ship speed is going to be integral. Because basically, if we look at the map here, all these different systems, every time a mission happens, 3 missions will pop up all at once. Same as XCOM, right? You have to sort of pick. Except in this game, if you can make it to all of the systems in time before they expire, you can do all of the missions. So you can do 3 missions every time they pop up. It's just basically impossible. But getting a couple each time, that is such a huge, like, jump in the power level of your boys in that amount of time, because you get more, like, requisition and a bunch of other stuff. That'll help you get sort of upgrades and things quicker. You know, you get resources for each one, so you get more servitors, you get more everything. So it's more resources, less time. Because, yeah, resources are just something you spend over time, basically. Servitors, if you're trying to repair stuff constantly, that's just a resource you're spending over time. So if you can get more of them, that's great. So you want to do as many missions as possible, which means you want to set up your prognosticars in places that are going to slow down the decay of missions, and you want faster engine so you can get from one side of the system map, the sector map, I guess, whatever, quicker. So yeah, all those upgrades, really important. Hopefully we'll get a bunch of missions, you know, all at once. But I do need to figure out where I want to sit, because I don't want to stand in the middle while we're repairing stuff, because more missions will show up. And generally, if you're on one side of the map, then, like, if missions are evenly spread out, then you can start in one corner and move towards other missions, right? So you probably start on top of one mission and move towards others. So you really want to be off to one side. You don't want to have to, like, run off one direction and double back on yourself, because you waste time. So, yeah, you want to make sure you're moving in one direction. I just want to... I just can't figure out where that direction should be. Not sure. Let's maybe move over here. I feel like that's connected to a lot of systems, right? That's connected to 4, and it's off in one direction, so hopefully we can push in a single. Although, I mean, that's where they currently are. Are they more likely to be spread to neighbouring systems? Maybe. So is it worth just sitting on one of these? I'm just going to sit on this. I'm going to sit on this system. And we'll see. I mean, it's going to be luck of the draw, regardless of what we do. But we want to be one end. You know, one end or top or bottom, whatever the case. So let's see how it goes. We might get interrupted while traveling, because, you know, time moves while you're traveling. And you get to see yourself translate into real space again. Very cool. Hi, gang. Love the look of the planets too. Some really like gorgeous art in this game. I forgot how like detailed some of the stuff was. It really is beautiful. Also, you can see all the chunks taken out of our ship. As you repair different systems, this will upgrade as well. Okay, command missions. Well, okay, our Augurium is repaired. Commander, I have completed repairs to the Augurium. The prognostical choir is functional once again. Thank you. Thank you, Lunat. Let's do the augmentation chamber then, shall we? Maybe. Only costs a couple servitors. We'll get more back. So what I'm thinking currently, right, we could do the plasma reactor. So the reactor is basically the sort of... that's the requirement for every other upgrade, right? You need to have your reactor output at a certain level to do any advanced stuff. So, you know, to get something to level 2, you need to first have the reactor on level 2. That's always going to be the case. So that's, you know, kind of important. And you see that, well, actually, you do need a reactor on 1 to 2. Hang on. Whatever. Different upgrades need different reactor outputs. I don't think there's a perfect correlation between it, but it was fine. So yeah, we're gonna try and get this done later, I think, because we only have 13 servitors, so we don't have enough servitors to do this, and then an additional thing, such as ship speed, which I would really like. So I think we just get this out of the way, and we can start getting more servitors. So we're more likely to have more once this is done. Even though it won't be many, we might just about make back. Yeah, we won't even make back the cost of this, I think. Or actually, we will just. Is it 2? No, it's 1 every 10 days, I think. That is, so it's fine.
We have restored functionality.
Oh,
to
missions have shown back up. What?
And should review our prognostica choir.
Okay, that's lovely and everything, but aren't we busy? Aren't we busy, buddy?
When prognosticas are attuned to a system, they will extend the mission timer in all adjacent systems.
They sure will. So we can do it like here. That's a pretty good one. And I think there'll be more systems here later. So the issue we have right now is I don't entirely know how to min-max this. Because the sector map will grow after the first, like, big story mission. And here we go. Missions have appeared.
Commander, our prognosticas have detected this bloom in 3 separate systems.
Yep.
We should examine one of them.
Sure.
I have identified this. From here, you can see some details for this mission.
Yeah, thanks.
Including the
So yeah,
resources
10
that
servitors.
Titan's Armory will make available
All the
to us
actual
if we
like
are
stakes are going to be the
successful.
same. Can you shush? All the stakes are going to be the same. It's going to be about the same stuff we'll be fighting no matter where we are. Right? Difficulty isn't really a problem. The stuff we're fighting is not really going to change much, and it's all the same plague. So it's all, you know, this green plague. So same effects. So really, it's the items that we want. So 10 servitors. Yes, please. A grimoire, that will speed up our research. Not actually bad to get a grimoire fairly early. Another grimoire there. But servitors are definitely a priority. Currently, that is not much time. If we go to just there, that's going to slow down a lot. But we do have prognosticars, so I could potentially put one there. I could potentially put one down here. And I don't know. I don't know if this is going to be wise to put one here. And slow that one down too, but... I mean, currently, right, that's a decent amount of systems, and there's probably going to be another couple of links down here once that's done. I don't know if it'll be like the border or not. This might not be the best place to put it, but that will hopefully give us a couple, yeah, an extra 3 days. That should be plenty to get there after we've done that mission. I say it like it's a guarantee, but it might not be. But just getting a prognosticar out early like that. And that is covering, you know, a decent number. That's 5 systems. And I don't think we're going to get better than that. Because what, that'll be... I guess that's also 5, isn't it? And having this be a part of that one means that that one's not going to be as effective. But then, depending on when things expand, that might not be the best. There also covers these 2. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's better coverage, generally. So I don't know if this will just get in the way of later prognosticars. Might be a problem. Though we don't necessarily need to cover the middle. We need to cover the outside more. Because that's like the potential for like the furthest distance travel. The ones in the middle we should always be able to reach before doing things further out. So maybe that's the plan. Oh, screw it. Let's attune. Alright, we're doing it. We're doing it. So we're going to go here, and then we're going to go to that one. Hopefully we can reach both. Hopefully we can reach both. If we can't, then I'm going to be very upset that we used a prognosticator for that, but it is what it is. It'll help us later on. There'll be other missions that'll appear over there. Like, if we start just hanging out over here, then we should be able to get from there to, like, there, right? We should have time. In, like, later, you know, later stages. This is where we camp out. We can visit stuff on the way to the other side of the map quite well. If we go here, we can visit stuff on... Whatever, we can do a mission. Yes, I'm already overthinking everything. I haven't played this in ages. I don't know what is sort of min-maxed. That's why we're playing on, like, you know, not legendary. We're playing on the difficult, but, like, there's room for error, for sure. And I think I might have made one already. But, yeah, no one look up a map, okay? There's definitely maps out there that people have made for, like, optimal prognosticator placement. I don't want to know. We're going to wing it, alright? We're going to think about it, but we're going to go with the information we have, which is currently not that much. So, kill all enemies, we'll get a grimoire. Brilliant. And I just want to check, actually. We will be able to reach it. Perfect. Perfect. So we're going to do 2 missions in the first day. Lovely. So, we have our boys. I say the first day. In the first bloom, or whatever you'd call it. Do I bother equipping them? No, I think they're all fine.
The psychic disturbances here echo those I encountered on Koromar.
The hive cities are abandoned, but there is life below. Brothers, seek out any corruption and purge it.
Okay, so... it's always this mission, I swear.
Stirs within the shadows.
Hello, fellas.
Your command.
Right, let's move you up too. So I tend to move, you know, a couple of AP with my initial moves. Sometimes that's too much. There are times where you just move a couple, you know, to be cautious, and then just immediately there's someone really near you that you end up uncovering. So, you know, sometimes you got to be more careful than that. But sometimes not. Yeah, Golden Storm, go that corner, sure. Okay. So, okay, they're actually going to patrol out here. So, I am going to let them. Yeah, blue moves up, doesn't matter. So they will patrol back in here. Well, presumably. But it means we can set up like an Overwatch here and just start blasting them.
Yes, Commander.
When they come in, which I think would be pretty fun. Because, yeah, coming around this corner and finding cover is annoying. Oh, let's move the people in the front first. That's probably wiser.
Taking position.
So you can actually see different targets when you hover. See the little lines being drawn from where you are? It's all the little places you can shoot. If there's an enemy, it'll also point that out. But, yeah, we can shoot these statues down and choose the direction they fall in because we're basically wizards. It's very fun. Well, we are. We're, you know, we're space wizards. Okay, interesting route. And, yeah, they're going to run back this way. Perfect. I mean, they might all end up just, you know, cowering around these corners. But I don't think that's a problem.
Your command.
Yeah, I never really do this. I usually run straight out and start trying to deal with them while they're still in this area. But I like this idea. I like this plan. I think this is a good plan. I mean, I can't really put you in cover. Put you there, they're going to run through, but they're not necessarily going to attack. They'll just do, like, overwatches and things. So, screw it. I'm going to leave myself a bit vulnerable there. Alright, good lads. And, I mean, I can't reach anything with an overwatch here, so I do need to push this guy further forward, too. So, what I could do, because I'll probably end up using Psychic Onslaught. That uses all of our ammunition up anyway. So I'm going to have a spare AP. I'm either going to be reloading or... Oh, they all really... They all really retreated there. I thought some would push through the door to attack us. That's disappointing. That's disappointing.
Watch over me. They can't see me.
You can't see me. They're adorable. Alright, Alright, we can blast through this wall, which would be pretty funny. Kinda like the sound of that. So let's do that with... Actually, do you want to do that with Voldred? I think a good one for that would probably be Han, to be honest. I think he'd be better at that. Because Voldred Storm can teleport, you see. Okay, good. Good. So we found a new means of ingress, which is nice. Right, we could move here and then throw a grenade at someone, maybe. I could shoot him, throw a grenade at these two. Perhaps. Could shoot him too, actually. Could just finish him off.
Yes, Commander.
Okay, that is heavy cover. So heavy cover's a weird one, right? Because heavy cover, if you need to overwatch, you have to step out of cover to be in overwatch, in which case you have no cover at all. Low cover, you can shoot over.
Storm.
So, you know, if you want to set up like an overwatch trap, then you kind of got to worry about that. Luckily, you're usually setting up overwatch because stuff is in melee, in which case you can just shoot, like, you know, set up an overwatch parallel to the cover that you're in, or at 90 degrees to it, perpendicular, whatever. In line with the cover, so that way if anything tries to run around the cover to get to you, you're shooting at it, right? You don't actually need to shoot them while they're on the way, you can shoot them while they're next to you. So, you know, you get options.
What is your will?
I don't know, mate. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Because I don't really want to teleport back here. You have to be able to see to teleport
Is your will?
as well. That is one small problem we have.
I am here to serve.
So you can kill some stuff. I just don't know what we shoot. I mean, you could do a psi bolt there. It'd be quite easy to then follow up with something else. With Darig Thul. Yeah, it's just Psychic Onslaught isn't great yet. I only have the 1 AP left. I guess I could just shoot him. That would be some good damage there.
At your service.
You could finish him off.
Standing ready.
Standing yes, Commander.
Your orders?
Yeah, we'll have a couple of shots, so sure, I'll just shoot this guy.
As you command.
And he's got a little bit of armor
Strike true.
as well, which is exciting. Because of his mutation.
Firing now.
So yeah, enemies will have like little buffs here and there.
No demon shall avoid its fate.
Okay, let's shoot him too. Good stuff.
Foe destroyed, Commander.
Alright. So now... I mean, you'll be in full cover there, which is fine. And they might try and push through, they might not. We'll see. Alright, let's get you over here. And I think that'll probably do.
Harm. Commander.
So yeah, you can overwatch. Anyone who wants to run through here, you can shoot at. He should also slash at anyone who runs past him. So there is that too. And yeah, that'll do. That'll do. Ooh, do you need to reload? Might as well. We have an AP, we may as well reload. I'm not going to overwatch with him or anything, leave him vulnerable to getting shot at.
Die.
And is that... That was just him trying to shoot me, I think. He's hunkered down. And, oh... He did a damage to us. I did not think he would stand there. That's sad. Alright, he's going to Overwatch. And there is another pod over here. Okay, I can't wait to get some more abilities. Okay.
What is your will?
Let's see. We have okay. We can shoot. Yeah, we can shoot and then reload and then shoot again. So you know he'll be taken care of. He's very upset. Yeah, if you melee an enemy, it will disrupt them. But there's also other moves that can disrupt enemies, or you know, weapon upgrades and these sorts of things. Or if you get a critical hit, there are ways of getting critical hits with ranged. They'll let you choose a body part to attack.
My blade is yours.
Yeah, we could just start stabbing him, huh? We could start doing that. I think we could just run at him. Let's just run at him. I was going to say I could teleport, but it won't actually save us anything. And, oh, we got a crit, so we get to choose something. This is exactly what I was talking about. So you can just lop off the weapon that they're overwatching with. And that works quite well. So it does also put up stun, right? Every time you attack an enemy, it does a bit of stun. And if this goes to 0 before they're killed, then they get stunned, and then you can attack them in melee and execute them. It's like a instant crit where you get to target body parts, but there's an execute option, and that gives everyone on your squad an extra AP to spend that turn. So really powerful being able to stack a bunch of stun. But these enemies, we do too much damage for them to ever stun, frankly. Even, although actually, if I had done +1 stun that first time, we could have done that a second time and it would have actually stunned him. Which is pretty funny.
What is your will?
Oh, and you're still alive. So I guess we'll stab you up too. And then, yeah, I think Iolanthus will just run at that guy. Alright, good.
Mercy in death.
And, well. Yeah, you're the only one left. So he's dead. And we get all AP back, and everyone reloads. This is destroyed too, which is interesting. That's going to be novel. We can knock these pillars down, which is really fun. I feel like they always set you up with this mission as like the first mission when the map opens up, you know? I feel like they always give you this one, just because it's, I thought we'd be just far enough away. But yeah, I feel like there's so much stuff you can interact with in this mission that they like to give it to you early, so you can enjoy pushing over pillars and, you know, doing all that lark. So could Psychic Onslaught these guys. That would also knock that over, though. And I don't want to do that. So we can teleport quite far. So then what? Then I could throw a grenade at someone.
Your orders?
Dunno. Okay, that's disappointing too. We can't quite reach them there. So what have we got? We got cultists over there and a cultist over there. And a cultist here? No. So there's only 2 cultists. The rest of the guys are going to run right at us. So let's just set up a big old Overwatch. Shall we? How's that sound? So we can set that up from here.
Position secured, Commander.
Love to hear it. And yeah, okay. Sure. Now they might be able to get a cultist over here and get some shots on us, which would be annoying. And actually, I think they really will, won't they? Wait, oh, well, wait, where is he? Is that him? That's him, right? Yes. He can, yeah, he can yeah, he can probably move to there and shoot. Yeah, alright, maybe I judged the distance a little wrong there. You are stood up there. He will definitely try and shoot you, won't he? Be very surprised if he didn't while you're stood there. I could always just do an Aegis shield So +3 armor. Doesn't matter if you get shot now. And then you can use the last 2 AP to Overwatch. Excellent. Do I want you to do the same? Maybe. Maybe. It's tempting. Let's just move you back here. And you can also Overwatch. Good. Now let's see how this goes. And, oh, a cultist just ran out into some shots there. And now everyone's close enough that we can just start beating them to death. Yeah, I knew it. I knew you'd be close enough. Luckily, it's barely a scratch. And groan. That's annoying. So yeah, they can bring enemies back from the dead. So the ones we just floored will be back up as weaker enemies, though. And he's absolutely fine. Good. Was pathetic. I'm going to beat him with a hammer and then throw a grenade at these guys.
Unleash me.
Although maybe Iolantha shouldn't be the one to do all that. Maybe I should have someone else throw a grenade. Like Voldred. Voldred Storm. I mean, that's pretty great, isn't it? That's a good number of dead folks. Dead folks for Titan. Kabluey! Yippee! We can knock that over. I think we'd slightly crush ourselves there. We'll be fine. Screw it. Alright, Derek Thul. Push that way so it falls backwards.
Advancing.
Get revenge on that guy. That's for shooting me, nerd.
Storm.
Storm. Alright, Storm. Chop chop. Man, I love this game. I've missed it. I've missed it.
All enemies have been cleansed. Good work,
Marvelous.
Commander.
Victory. And I don't think anyone took enough damage for us to have any injuries, so that's good. We got a grimoire. So yeah, faster research. And we've got a bunch of level ups. Nice. Alright, I guess we're doing that then. There's so much. There's so much in these skill trees. There's so many directions you can go in that are really good. That are really interesting. But for Derek Thul, there's one thing we want really quickly, and that's Astral Aim. And then also just having Astral Aim be better is amazing. Like if you warp charge, so Astral Aim, right? It essentially is a 100% chance to crit, and it lets you target body parts, which is really useful. We will need to do a bit of surgery later on, which you'll see, and it does let you do that. But also it lets you just target any body parts that need to be blown off. So if an enemy is overwatching, you can just shoot off their gun arm, which is very funny. So that's great. But also warp charge, it lets it ignore armor. There are a lot of enemies later on that have like quite a lot of armor but not very much health. So there's a lot of armor to get through to do any damage to them, but really any damage is enough. So if you just have armor pierce, then you just ignore their armor entirely. They just die really easily. So it's basically a one-shot kill for some pretty powerful enemies. So it's really good stuff. Really, really good. And, you know, putting up like crit damage and stuff. There's going to be items that put up crit damage as well. So we can get a guaranteed really powerful shot, just a couple of willpower. So it's really nice to have. One of my favourites. But also, we do want Psychic Onslaught to be really powerful, so we're going to do that too over here. So we can take out huge crowds of enemies, or single enemies, really well. I reckon that's the plan. Also, extra grenades could be quite cute. I like extra war gear slot. Always, just gives us more tools. Sanctified Kill Zone is really handy against like bosses and things, or just really tough enemies. For like 1 AP, you can put an area of effect that is +2 damage from all attacks while they're in that, which is really powerful because, you know, the rest of your guys are going to spend a lot of AP attacking. If they're all spending all their AP on attacking and they're all doing +2 damage, then that's, you know, an additional like 12 damage or something you're doing. 16 if everyone uses their remaining AP. If that's like the first thing you do and then everyone uses all their AP to attack, then yeah, there's a lot of additional damage to enemies in there. And if you're doing stuff like throwing grenades in there, you're doing +2 damage to everything in that area. Any AoE is going to be doing an extra 2 damage to everything in that area, everything that's vulnerable. So it's, yeah, pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. So really handy. Good against bosses too, and just stacking more damage. So there's a lot of good stuff for him. He can also get support fire, which is sort of brilliant, sort of bad. It's a weird one. So support fire is really great on other other characters, but for Thule, we will want him to be on full ammo a lot, so he can use things like, Psychic Onslaught. He does have rapid reload he can upgrade here too, which does give him a chance of getting reload, but you always need max ammo for Psychic Onslaught, and so if you end up using some sort of by accident, it's a whole thing. Anyway, we can get into it. We can get into the weeds later. Here, Hammerhand. No, hang on, that's not Hammerhand. That's Hammerhand. Yeah, so 100% chance to crit, really useful, but extra range on the teleport, and then we'll give him support fire. I think that's better. I think that's better. There's some also really cool stuff, like swap allies. So you can teleport him forward, shoot a bunch of enemies so he gets support fire, like shooting the enemies he's teleported next to, and then you can have him swap with an ally so you can have someone else land, with their full AP right in the thick of things and can just start blatting everyone. So you can get some really cool combos with all this teleport shenanigans. So I think that's kind of what I want to be doing, but I also want to get all this crit stuff too. That's going to be incredibly important. So yeah, we want to get that stuff. We want to get stuff down in this corner and the stuff up in that corner, basically. Aegis Shield I don't really like, but I do love extra war gear slots. But that's a big investment to get down there. But yeah, we're gonna go down here. I forget you can get them with you can equip them with the silencer. I always forget that. It doesn't matter to me really. But whatever. So we're gonna go grab that. So what's beautiful about support fire? Basically, it's if you're in range of an enemy that is getting shot by another one of your guys, for free you get to shoot that guy too. And you get it to do up to 5 damage, and you can get additional additional uses of that ability. So you can essentially do an extra 10 damage per turn to an enemy, which is crazy, especially because he's very much a melee-focused guy, so he's always going to have ammunition spare to use support fire because he's going to be swording people to bits, right? So it's great. That's what we're going to do. And now our apothecary. Oh, a million ways you can build him, honestly. I never really know how I want to build him. Down here is kind of nice, though. Get extra crit damage. I mean, +3 crit damage is pretty significant. But also, it's, yeah, this ability here. Knight's melee attacks collect all bloom seeds from the target, which is a thing that'll be useful. But, you don't know what that is yet, but we will. Also, extra servo skull uses, like extra ammo on servo skulls, and extra servo skull, like, pocket is really powerful. And just more healing as well. So I think we'll do this side. All this biomancy stuff is great, though. Also, you can use biomancy from any range if you do the servo skull stuff, so this stuff is good. Also, all the bleed stuff is better now than it used to be, so I am tempted by that, too. There's a lot that's tempting. There's a hell of a lot that's tempting. I mean, that puts up crit damage, which is really nice. Oh, God, there's too much stuff here. Because, yeah, we can basically get up to an extra 4 crit damage. So if you do that on a character that has really high crit chance, that you've sort of spec'd for that, then you're getting, extra 4 damage for every attack of theirs, which is kind of huge. So we might get some of this stuff. I think, okay, we're going to head into this direction first, though. Getting Terminator armor might be a cheeky one for him. Early. But, yeah, I want to get that War Gear slot, like, next turn. Well, not next turn, next promotion. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Look, there's no wrong answers. All the abilities are really good. Like, there's some really great abilities in the game. Now, star map. Let's head down here for those 10 servitors. And hopefully, alright, fingers crossed, next time a mission, a selection of missions show up, we'll be able to hit a couple again. Hopefully we didn't waste our prognostica too early, and hopefully he will lead to some additional, time for missions again and again. We'll see. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful we put it in a good spot. That does cover a lot of the systems. And we have fixed our augmentation chamber. Commander, I have completed repairs to the augmentation chamber and servitor production is back online. Thank you, Lunette. Right, let's give you something else to do. Which we can't, because we're one servitor low. Will it tell us how long? Oh, is that the only thing? Or it's not telling us how long before we get another servitor, is it? Is there a way to see? Let's see. I'm not seeing anything. Oh, wait. I haven't even built it yet. That's just repaired this area. Oh, that's disappointing. So yeah, before we can get any servitors, we need to do this one, which I can't afford. So okay, I did that in the wrong order. That's a shame. But we are right next to this mission where we're going to get 10 servitors, so that will... We haven't wasted much time not constructing.
This Poxwalker was one of the Imperial Faithful, afflicted with a strain of mutagenic virus. There is no doubt we are dealing with the work of the plague god Nurgle. This must be the bloom whispered of in those astropathic fragments. Within the carcass, I found a germ of some ancient power corrupted with a foul psychic resonance. This seed is used to spread the virus. Of that I am certain, but it arrived to me damaged, and there is little else I can learn from it. In order to study how we might fight this plague, I must acquire one of these seeds completely intact. I can instruct your brothers on how to extract these specimens properly. Please ensure they pay attention. The Emperor loathes indolence. Let's not disappoint him.
Grandmaster report too. Wow, everything's happening at once, huh?
This is Inquisitor Cartha Vakir of the Ordo Malleus. I am alumnus of Evixia Danica. Access code Clarion Magenta 111721. I require immediate response from Titan.
This is Grandmaster Vardan Kai responding, Inquisitor.
Andy Serkis.
This act borders on heresy. The screams of the astropods you burned already reverberate through the warp. It is fortunate for you that I am prosecuting a campaign in the nearby Chimera system. I suggest you explain yourself, and quickly.
Grandmaster, I have commandeered the baleful edict. We face...
You have seized a Grey Knight strike cruiser.
As is my right. I have foreseen dire omens for this sector. Already Nurgle's poxwalkers roam free.
Oh, indeed. I'm surprised an agent of your pedigree is not equipped to deal with such lesser threats of chaos. Agravain, perhaps you can clear up this nonsense for me.
My lord, he fell in battle during our last campaign against the Cadium cult. We had been returning to Titan for repairs when this Inquisitor intervened.
Ah, Brother Ektar, that is sorry news. I trust then that you have appointed one of our brothers to act in his stead. Well,
yes.
Speak up then, Commander. What say you to this Inquisitor's story?
I think we should agree that it needs investigating. Although we're damaged, it's not like a massive threat yet. At least it doesn't seem to be, but it's certainly fishy. And I think we are capable of at least going fishing.
A single one of your brothers could defeat a horde of such parasites. Why should this Inquisitor be granted an entire strike force?
I am confident these poxwalkers are the symptom of a much greater cancer. I only need a little time to conduct further research.
Very well. I am not in the habit of second-guessing those under my command, that is, until given a good reason. I will leave the baleful edict in your care.
You have my thanks, Grandmaster, but there is yet another reason I desire to speak with you. As steward of the Armory of Titan, I had hoped you could release further assistance.
Don't thank me yet. I will give you 60 Tertean solar days to prove this threat warrants the deployment of an entire strike force. Battle-worn as it is, Strike Force Xiphos could be put to good use in several campaigns across the galaxy. Any further requisition from my arsenal will have to be earned.
But I... Typical.
After each Grandmaster's report,
Yes,
the
thank you.
resource slot gives you access to the
I
new
can't
night
skip that either.
reinforcements, servitors,
Shoot. Get out of here.
grimoires,
Shoot.
and other resources at the end of a mission.
I know. I'm the commander. I'm a cool guy. Get out of here. So anyway,
You can only unlock or upgrade
Shush.
each slot once per report.
Stop.
Slot upgrades increase your
Stop.
chance of
Get outta here.
accessing more and better
Shoot.
equipment and resources.
shoot. Shoot. So anyway, yeah, we have 6, so we can do 3 of these upgrades. Currently we have no access to any of this stuff, and basically access means when we complete a mission, we get a chance to spend requisition on a randomly chosen item of each of these, you know, types. So let's go ahead and make sure we get better armor, melee weapons, and war gear. I think that's the best stuff. Range stuff we can do at a distance. You know, if we're meleeing, we want to make sure that it counts, right? If we're in melee range, we need that thing dead. So it's more important that that does more damage, I think. Armor is armor. That's really useful. Tends to have some really fun, you know, quirks with it, as well as just being, you know, tougher and stuff like that. But yeah, it gets some really interesting bonus things there. And war gear, same, just interesting little bonus quirks that you can equip to people to get like plus or minuses on like various cool abilities and things. So really useful. So yeah, that's what we're going to do first. Basically our plan will be to try and get to 10 requisition between each of these moments, and I guess 12 now because Officio Assassinorum is now a thing in the game, which I guess we'll bump into when we bump into it. But yeah, we want to get as many upgrades done as possible, and it's only when we're above 10, or I guess maybe 12, that I will then spend requisition on new items. But we're going to go for upgrades first, which means we're going to be making do with what we have for quite a while. It's high risk, high reward, basically. You know, we'll get to better items sooner, which means we can spend our requisition on things we're going to keep, basically. Because like the high tier stuff will be good until the end. A lot of the interim things, like all this rank 1 stuff that we're going to get as rewards, probably not going to be that great. But it will get us to the late game, so there will be times where we might have to buy the odd thing. Which is why, as long as I can do these upgrades between each, you know, report, you know, Grandmaster's report, I will spend the excess on new stuff. But I want to make sure we can always get these upgrades done. Yep. And seed extraction unlocked. Within the carcass I found a psychically infused seed, a germ of some ancient power now corrupted with foul spiritual resonance. The seed is tied to the spread of this bloom, but it was damaged in the Poxwalker's destruction. The next step must be to extract one of these psychic seeds whole from a functioning host. So we can get to doing more research, which... Okay, we can only do these ones on the edges because we don't have any seeds yet, but that's fine. This will lower corruption in a system if we deploy a prognosticar, which is nice. And this one, well, this will unlock more useful, fun things that I want. I think we might do this one first. Although the prognosticar stuff is pretty cool. So if we have prognosticar coverage of systems, which we do for a few, any missions we do in that place, we can get extra stratagem slots, which we'll be unlocking soon. Warp surge per turn is lessened, so, you know, it doesn't hit 100% and then do an effect. We haven't even seen that yet, but, you know, it'll do a thing. Or every time there's a warp surge, we all get extra willpower, which is really powerful. So, you know, you get to do your special abilities more often. So some really good stuff. But we're going to do warp field penetration first. The plague surrounds the worlds. It contaminates with a miasma of psychic energy that confounds any attempt to intervene from orbit. Yet, with careful study, I believe we can penetrate the shield and project my psychic powers onto the battlefield. Very cool. So, mission. Boom. Also, I hadn't mentioned it, but also having multiple missions, like actually being able to do multiple missions per, like, bloom or whatever, you know, per mission select, that will also keep contagion down, right? So the different worlds will get more and more, like, diseased to the point where you're going to have to blow up the planet. And that's bad. It'll actually become our like fail state of the campaign if too many planets fall. So this will keep that in check more as well. So very important stuff. So we'll get more servitors out of this one, and you can see our armory access. You can actually see what upgrades will be, you know, offered at the end. Win a mission without using willpower. That is horrid. That is horrid. So now that we've met Andy Serkis, we get to do these glorious deeds, which are like bonus objectives that you can opt into. If you fail them, you, I think, lose requisition, which is bad, but if you succeed in them, then you get a bunch of extra requisition. This is something we will want to do every single mission, ideally. But we also want to get some seeds out of our enemies, right? And for that, you need to do critical hits, and for that, you largely need to do the things that guarantee critical hits, which all use willpower. But we could do it without willpower. We won't be able to use teleport. We won't be able to use psychic onslaught. Like, it's going to be rough. But 3 requisition is pretty great. So as a challenge, I might do it. While we're early in the game, and, you know, we're mostly relying on, like, grenades to kill stuff, you know, I think we're going to risk it. I think we might risk it. It will mean the next mission will be kind of boring, because we won't have our fun abilities, we won't be able to teleport or anything, but yeah. I want to do it. I want to try it.
Objectives that add risk to a mission, but grant.
Oh, it's a really hard one. That is really horrible. Like, often you'll get a mission that's like, you know, glorious deed that's like, kill 3 enemies with a grenade, and like, that stuff's quite easy. This is really hard. It really lowers our, you know, our options. But what I can do with him, well, with everybody, is we can equip slightly better stuff, because you do start with a few things that are slightly better. That removes all, has a chance to remove all mutations from enemies. That's kind of cool. I like that. That's cute. Extra crit damage, extra crit chance. I mean, crit chance means nothing for him, because he doesn't do any extra crit damage. Let's do that one. Let's give him catharsis. I mean, it's 5 damage a shot. Like, he can do some pretty good damage. And there are other weapons that your purgators can equip. They can have a storm bolter like everybody else, or they can have a psi cannon, a silencer, or an incinerator, which is pretty cool. So yeah, some interesting options. War gear slot. So there are servo skulls. These ones heal, but we have a guy who can heal. Though that uses willpower, so I guess not. I guess we just won't do that today. This gives additional willpower, which you can't spend, so that's pointless. And the Domina Liber Demonica gives extra crit damage and crit chance for melee attacks, which is pretty damn good. We're not going to give it to him. We're going to keep him on the frag grenade. But that does mean someone like the Interceptor here, we could give him that. And then there is a chance that if we have him attack the guys with seeds, there's a 15% chance that we'll be able to... Well, actually 20% chance, because the Force Sword has extra crit chance anyway. I think we can get that up to 25%. Yeah, slightly extra chance to crit with Darrig's Edge. However, Falchions? Extra 15% chance to crit. That would be pretty good. So the difference is these weapons don't have parry. So yeah, 35% chance to crit. Not bad. Not bad. He might be able to grab a seed for us. Especially because enemies will take more than one hit. So if he can get to an enemy that has a seed and attack him a couple times, we got a pretty good chance of getting a seed out of them. So we might still be able to get some seeds. If we don't, whatever, there'll be other missions, you know, that we'll have soon. That's fine. It just would be nice to get them now. Now let's see. I think grenades are going to be more useful for the other guys. Though I could give them all... Oh, I don't know. Let's give a better Narthesium anyway. Yeah, extra chance to crit. I mean, technically, we don't want him to have a Narthesium because it costs money to heal and Narthesiums don't do much damage. So should I give him like a Force Halberd or something? Like extra crit chance? I mean, Falchions just have extra chance to crit generally. That's all 4 damage. These do... No, those do 4 damage. Yeah, they all do 4. Yeah, extra 10% chance to crit. Let's give him Doubting's Falchions. So let's do that. God. Yeah. Alright, weirdest apothecary. We're going to have to remember to equip him with the Narthesium again after this, obviously. But, I mean, it's something. And then equipment will give him the extra crit chance and damage. So 25% chance for him to crit. And for an extra 2 damage. Alright. God, this is going to be a weird one. But guys, this is it for the episode anyway. I wanted to get a couple missions done and really get into the campaign properly. And now we are into the campaign properly. Now it's just a case of, you know, missions show up, we do the missions, and as we uncover different research, we'll uncover more story missions and eventually win the game. Easy. But yeah, we're in the game properly now. Everything's been introduced. We're good to go. Man, I'm so excited to be playing this again. It's going to be a big campaign. These take ages, you know, this is a big long campaign, and it'll probably be even longer now because we've got additional DLC missions, so, you know, we'll have the Assassins show up at some point, we'll have a Dreadnought show up at some point, I don't know if we'll have like a Dreadnought running around while Assassins are doing stuff. Ooh, it's going to be exciting. So yeah, things are cool. I like things when they're cool, like now. Cool. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Comment, like, and subscribe, guys. And yeah, also, I am trying to raise some cash to replace my PC, which I think I'll be getting sooner rather than later, just on finance. But if I can pay it off sooner, that saves me having to pay crap loads of interest on you know, on the PC. So I'd rather not have to pay a bunch of interest. So if you can help me afford it, it might also change the scope of what I get. I might squeak in the extra, you know, little upgrade if people are willing to help me out with it. So we'll see. But yeah, plenty of ways to help the channel, including just buying games that you're going to buy anyway. You can buy games using referral links and stuff that are in the description. So bear that in mind. You know, you can raise money for me without having to spend any money that you wouldn't otherwise be spending. So, you know, there are ways to support the channel. And of course, just Patreon or PayPal. You know, whatever. That's enough begging, I think. But hey guys, we hit 40,000 subscribers. Yippee! It was only 7 months ago, so I'm still so excited. Guys, comment, like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!